Hello. Today we're going to have another Tea and Dharma talk. And the intention of this Dharma talk today is to talk about your ability to respond and how everything in life goes around how we respond to things and the impact of our response. So the first thing that we think about is like, what is a response? A response can be from the mind, which basically creates a reflection, or it can be from our bodies, which means a physical action. It's very important that we notice that the consequence of our response could be positive, could be negative, or could be neutral. Now, how can we have better responses in a moment that everybody is having the most awkward responses and the most unexpected ways of dealing with things? It's not predictable at all that the person that you considered quite calm and you look for help, or the person that was maybe super active now replies and responds to whatever struggles we are going through in ways that are completely unexpected. So to have a clear response is to pay attention to the quality of the questions you're asking yourself. If you ask yourself or other people dead-end questions, which means, how are you, good or bad? Good. There's no possibility for you to open conversation or dive deeper into that person's psyche, or even to help better if my answers are very short and I'm not really being able to elaborate better my feelings. Whether because I become super intellectual, so I want to intellectualize, use my mind, or because the bridge between my intellect and my feelings and my heart is not connected. So I can be living this well of emotions and I don't know how to bring those emotions into a way that's rational and just communicate through verbally, right? So using words so I can explain to people what I'm feeling and I can ask for help in a better way. If that's not the case, I can have too much intellectual fire going on or too many emotions in my heart, and both don't communicate with each other and we can't find an outlet for all of that. So why do I say that's very important for us to pay attention to the quality of our questions? Because the questions, the nature of your questions allows you to have a very brief questioning inside of your heart and your mind, or an expanded ways of questioning. So if I say, I wonder, if I use the word I wonder, my mind actually wanders. And what's the benefit in some occasions is I want to think a bit bigger than my normal thinking. If I say, I wonder how would it be if I could just let go of this thought, what can happen? So while my mind is wandering, going to different directions, trying to find different answers, I get perspective. So I broaden my choices from where I can choose from because I wondered. I asked the question, I let my brain and my mind expand. If I stay on, this is it, I have only one path to go, which might not be the most pleasant one, but this is all I'm thinking. So how do we have better responses if we have better questions? Is using questions that are open. Well, if I had more clarity here, I would actually be able to see this from this angle. I wonder how would it be, if I could have a different response to that. So you're really training yourself to expand the way that you ask things. So this can empower you on your own relationship with yourself and your psyche, and can empower you in conversations with other people. So to pay attention to that is very important, because we really know for a fact that we cannot control all the time the way that people are going to reply or on responses of others, right? Sometimes we don't even control our own responses. But I think if we are to understand that every time we get into a battle with someone, with whatever they're doing, whatever they're saying, it's a part of ourselves that was what we call the unattended self. I'm going to give you a brief example, which is a true one. So given everything that's been happening here, I came back to the person that I rent this house from, and I said to her, I'm not sure what's going to happen. So we have agreed that this is a 3-year contract. But given the fact that everything is as it is, I am not even sure if the school that my daughter is studying in will open, will not open, will I stay here? I just want to give you the heads up that I don't know what's going to happen next. So therefore, I think I might need to renegotiate my agreement with you. which I thought in my mind that I was being very proactive, I was being respectful, I was being responsible. I thought it was a good way to say to this person, I just want to let you know that I might need to renegotiate our original agreement because of this. You know, it was not me, it was not you, nobody created this scenario, it is what it is. And the house has been paid, is paid until September. So in my mind, like, until September, there's no reason for this big. But I was so angry when I got her response was, okay, I'm gonna send you right now a new lease contract saying that your house is now from September onwards not yours, and it's going to be back on the market. I'm gonna start showing the house. I was so angry. And then I sat with myself and I'm thinking, okay, what is one layer beneath the anger? And I came to the conclusion that it was actually not anger. I was really scared that I had set this whole story about how my life would look like in this city for the next couple of years, and then suddenly that idea of what was going to happen in my life was not there. So I was feeling scared. I was feeling insecure. I was feeling totally out of control. And all I really wanted when I asked myself was that she came back and said, I'm really sorry that this is happening for all of us. I really need the commitment because I need the money, which is totally understandable. Can we talk in a couple of months and we see, or next month and you see where you are and we see where the world is, and if you have confirmation of the school. And this is what I would have liked to receive in my ideal Adriana world, which didn't happen. So all of this is to give you a real short story of how can we throw ourselves under the bus because we are not creating something that's very important, which is called emotion immunity. There's so much vitamin C you can take for your body. There's so much videos and yoga gym, whatever you're gonna do, you know, to make the physical body healthy, which I think it's fantastic and it's fundamental. So we are looking at this in a wholesome way, in a more holistic way, is how can I keep myself up at optimum? So whatever we are living right now, there will be days that we can't. And we have to also understand that being rigid with plans that we create and how we're going to do things is not a healthy thing. Because if you become very rigid and you're not keeping up to pace, you will find a way to punish yourself after. Whether it's attacking the fridge, attacking yourself, becoming sluggish, punishing yourself into the most odd ways. So to be your best friend at the moment is understand that having more awareness in the quality of your responses, being more responsible in the ability of that you have to respond to things, really becomes pretty much in our responsibility to ask ourselves questions that can be more productive. Instead of why I'm not doing this, is what could take you there? Why is this so difficult for me? What can make this a little bit easier? I don't want to do this right now. When do you want to do this? So we're learning how to change the way that we communicate with ourselves because we want to get better responses. And this, of course, applies to other people. Now, when I talk about psychological and emotional immunity, I really mean it. It really is important for you to practice, to keep that strength in the mind. It's really important. I've said this before, to make yourself be strong and to practice all the determination and to be proud with a body that is flexible is all good. But in the end of the day, everything is holistic. Nothing comes isolated. So how are we going to make this well-being, what can I say, treatments or self-care compounded? So as a whole, you can take care of yourself, and you're not going to win all the time. Some days we're not finding a way. And what I do now is, like, I have been through the chocolate thing, and I think most of you know that I am not a person that eats sugar, but it is what it is. And I said, okay, now I think I'm in a better place to say, don't invite that to your house. Don't buy those things that you know for a fact that makes me sluggish, makes my body not look so well. I don't feel good in my skin. So, okay, stop. Because this is a part of self-punishment as well. It's 5 seconds of pleasure and all the byproduct I really don't like. So now we are really paying attention to what can we do with all of those things that we're learning. I have been having the most amazing conversations with people that were not spiritual at all, but the way that they are seeing things and they're changing their perspective is so beautiful and so interesting. So we do have by nature a negative bias towards things. So how? Let's say you love dogs, you're very comfortable with dogs, and then one day a dog bites you. And the negative bias that you might create is dogs are dangerous. And there's a study that says that we need 5 positive experiences after we had a bad one. And this applies to absolutely everything. So if you hear something negative about you, you would need 5 positive, really deep felt, empowering things about you to neutralize that. So, and that applies to your conversation with yourself. All the things that we are, oh, you're this, you're that, and you're not this, you're not that, is to really look at moments that you're on top of your game and remark and keep memory of that. What I have been doing is to make post-it notes to myself. Whenever I see myself having an act of courage or resilience or coming out of a situation because I'm using my sense of humor, I make a post-it note and I just put it beside my bed. Because the moments that I'm not feeling so great, I have created something called my strong corner. And in my strong corner, it's just a piece in my bedroom that my post-it notes I place there. I have some crystals, I have a picture of my grandmother, I have a picture of my siblings, because they are my power people. This is the moment that when I'm really, really overwhelmed, that I sit in, I'm getting emotional, but I sit in that place and I'm thinking, okay, and I'm not, this is not a positive thing or affirmation, no. It's to sit in front of those people that have full faith in you and that adore you and you can derive strength from, and look at those post-it notes. I'm not bullshitting myself here, excuse my French. It's true. Those words that I wrote I can derive strength from that because I wrote that in moments that they were really true. So I'm tapping into something that at that moment I'm not feeling, but they exist in me. So this is my tip for today, that you find the way of really creating that emotional immunity. Sometimes it's high, sometimes the immunity is low, but we keep it at an optimal level. You know, cleaning, it's not, I always say this to people, it's not how dirty you go through the day, but don't get into your bed all dirty. It makes your bed linen dirty. So you kind of like spread that dirt around. So you could be covered in mud. As long as you have a good shower in the end of the day and you take care of yourself, you're all good to go. You're getting into your bed fine and clean. And that applies to the poison that we accumulate through the day in our psyche, the conversations that we have, the amount of fear that we're in. So as you all know, meditation will always be your best friend. Try to find a practice that works for you. I hope that this helps you in any shape or form. Thank you.